If you look at all these life forms, whether they are in the plant kingdom or they are in the kingdom of insects and small little living things, or in the form of mammals or birds, any form of life that you look at, they do not have the power of free will to discriminate between what is good, what is bad. They don't have a moral code. Only human beings have created a moral code and planted into our consciousness a certain part of the brain, certain part of the mind, which we call conscience. Conscience is something that distinguishes between the good and the bad. We have laid out a course for ourselves in which we distinguish between what is right and wrong, what is good and bad, and we make these choices. There is no other species in this universe that is making these moral choices. We are the only ones making it. And we laid it out for ourselves. There is no universal moral code at all. This moral code has changed with time and changed with territory throughout history. What was good at one time has become bad at another time. What was bad at one time has become good at another time. These are things we collectively, as a society, impose upon ourselves. We lay down as a social community, as a group, we lay down these different values, and then we make our life based upon a moral life of good and bad. When we do that, we get a choice, and we want to do good things, and then there is a certain part in our consciousness which wants to do bad things. It's amazing that we all have two parts in our head, two parts in our mind, one wanting to do good things and one wanting to do bad things because bad things seem to be more pleasurable. It looks like we enjoy sin more than virtue. And therefore, this fight between the good and the bad goes on in our life, creating intentions and actions following those intentions, which we ourselves classify as good and bad. Once we do that, with this immense power of free will to choose between options, once we do that, we set a pattern, like it is like a wave that we start, a wave of good and bads, and we create a storage of this good and bad in our own mind. We remember the bad and we say we are guilty. We remember the good, we feel happy and think we are going to get a reward for it. This whole notion of punishment and reward, which we impose upon ourselves, is arising from our experience of free will. If we did not have this free will, there would be no morality, and indeed there would be no law of karma itself. Karma itself will disappear if we did not have this choice-making capacity in us. We are creating not only good and bad karma, we are creating the very principle of karma by creating a differential between our choices, and some we put as high, some we put as low, and therefore we create a whole cycle of action and reaction, and therefore we get tied down to having experiences based upon this principle.